This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and today we're in Denver, Colorado. We're at Weise Communications. Since 2002, they have been an integrated marketing communications agency thriving in a rather competitive industry. I'm here with Mark Plum, who is the Director of Marketing Strategy. Mark, let me ask you, it's been about pretty much a decade since the foundations of this company have been laid out. How did the company come about, and how did you get involved with them?
This company is primarily a healthcare marketing company to start off with, and that's where the foundations are. And some of our longest clients have been healthcare clients. For example, the Medical Center of Aurora has been with us since the beginning of time. We also have evolved into a franchise marketing company, and so for the past 7-8 years, we've also incorporated that as one of our expertise. I joined Weise when I was looking to fill a gap in my personal portfolio, and I did not have healthcare marketing experience. So since coming here, I've gained quite a bit of it.
Why don't you share with us what you mean by integrated services?
We believe that it's important when you are looking at marketing and advertising any service or product that you need to be agnostic when it comes to the types of tactics that you're going to use. We don't walk into any sort of a setting saying, oh, this is definitely a public relations situation, or this is definitely going to be social media is going to solve the problems. We come into it and say, let's figure out what is the target market and what's the best way to reach those customers to motivate them to act and buy.
So basically, you don't distinguish between your traditional marketing versus your online marketing. It's pretty much every platform across the board.
That's exactly right. And one of the best things that we're able to do is we do what's called a navigator session. And the navigator session gives us an opportunity to evaluate the strengths and the weaknesses and the things that are a challenge for our clients. By going through one of those sessions, we all get to learn about the things that the clients are most interested in and being able to promote, and also the challenges that they have. And that session gets us to what the best tactics will be as well.
Why is it important for a company to team up with a company like yours that basically is successful in communicating out to the public across every platform, especially to this generation?
To this generation, interestingly enough, on our blog, the Side Note blog, I just posted a comparison of marketing to baby boomers and to millennials, which is kind of an interesting challenge for many traditional marketers to be able to reach this current generation. But I think that one of the key pieces is going to be to make sure that you are focused on that target market, and market segmentation is critical. In order to be able to work with us, you have to be a believer that segmenting your market and being really smart about reaching those folks with the most effective use of your budget is something that you believe in.
Obviously, the team here is a group of hybrid marketers, if you will.
Indeed.
The solutions you all provide here, you could pretty much provide for any company across the board, but you've decided to focus on just a few so you can better serve those clients. Why don't we start with the health and wellness?
Well, in terms of the customers that we have in health and wellness, I think that the Medical Center of Aurora is a great example. They are a hospital that is a level 2 trauma center servicing the east side of the metro area. One of the things that was a really big challenge for us this year is those tragic Aurora theater shootings. And the Medical Center of Aurora took in 25 patients during that time, and we were the press team that was on site for those. And in those first 36 hours, we fielded more than 300 press inquiries. It was insane. But we were able to, ideally, best possible solution, all 25 left the hospital alive and healthy.
Doing some marketing for healthcare or any type of hospital out there, it's kind of a different language you're speaking to the public compared to, it's unlike any other organization. There's got certain nuances. Basically, it's a language on its own. Is that correct?
Yes, we do have to speak that language, and that's one of the best advantages that we have. We understand that getting insured patients is important. We understand that ACOs is a new term for the accountable care organizations, and that's important. And most importantly, we know that right now hospitals and all medical facilities are worried about readmissions, and they are coming up with amazing plans to ensure that they are not getting readmissions.
Let's move into the next, which is franchises. That's something that basically is you put on the table out there, your entire team is well versed in.
There's no doubt about it. And we are headed to Las Vegas for the 53rd Annual International Franchise Association Convention. One of our marquee clients in the franchise space is Postnet. They're headquartered here in Denver, and they are a local neighborhood business center, and they help small businesses to be able to do all of the services that they would have a challenge doing otherwise, whether it is from a simple copy, shipping, and printing to being able to help develop websites. So it's a great service that's headquartered here and being able to help a lot of small businesses.
How important is it for franchisors out there to have a team like yourself that is able to really target their market and put the message out there, but more importantly, get those folks to take action?
Taking action is what's key. Being a set of hybrid marketers, we understand motivating language. We understand when you get at the core of what's important to a customer. They want to make sure that they're getting the best possible services for the best value. And what is it that they need to do to be able to get that value? And so for us, that's our bread and butter. We want to make sure that people understand that we are the ones that will focus on getting that motivating messaging out to you. And the best part is, we're only limited by our imagination.
It really has to be rare for a company to be nationally recognized in both of those areas you're talking about. We're talking about health and wellness as well as franchising.
Oh, indeed, and I think that we have some awesome competitors, that people that we really respect, but we don't see that blend of healthcare and franchising. And one of the things that we also have done is we've partnered with a local law firm, Fagery Bakers Daniels, and we have put together a healthcare franchising conference. So it is taking our two disciplines and putting them together. And the third of those annual conferences is going to be this October in Chicago, Illinois.
How important is it for companies out there to have a corporate collateral portfolio? I mean, is that something they should have in their arsenal?
Without that corporate portfolio, you don't have an identity. And the identity is going to be how people first come to you. I mean, when you think about any of the considered purchases you make, you go to the web. You go and you talk to your friends, you talk to your family, you get those recommendations. Well, most of those recommendations are not necessarily be personal experience. They're going to be their experience with that corporate identity.
Interesting. And lastly enough, we have business to business. That is something that is basically you offer services as well.
That's true. We've got a couple of businesses that are really near and dear to us. One of our favorite clients is Martinson Snow Removal. These are guys that have dedicated themselves to ensuring the safe passage of customers to malls, to hospitals, and they're spectacular to work with. We have some businesses that are not healthcare or franchising, but the principles still apply.
Folks, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. You're going to see their website information right there. That is Weise Communications. You can take a look at their areas of specialty right there. Also take a glance at the leadership team here. And quite honestly, click on that portfolio button there because they have a wide array of companies they have been able to provide solutions for just like you. Speaking of in the news here, like you said, it was a very busy year for you guys here back. What do you offer in the way of crisis communications for others?
Well, I think that alluding to the Medical Center of Aurora, we have absolutely taken crisis communications, and even though it was tragic and difficult, we learned so much. We've started to break things down and be able to put things in a very, I guess, a very sensible package for folks. We try to make sure that anybody who is interested in crisis communications, they understand expressing empathy is first. Being right is very important. Being first, don't let somebody else control that message. Making sure that you're credible and that you also provide additional resources. That simple guideline will solve 80 to 90% of all crisis.
So obviously companies out there have taken notice. You guys have been doing it over a decade now. I see around me all over awards on the walls, awards everywhere. We've got the Gold Leaf Award in front of us here. Tell us, most recently you got the Denver 50 Award. What was that about?
The Denver 50 Award was for a client that also is one of those clients that really touch your heart, for the Eating Disorders Center of Denver. We realize that eating disorders are not about food. It's really about a much bigger trauma that has happened in your life, whether it is some abuse or whatever the case may be. And you are trying to gain some control over your life, and the way that you do that is through food. We decided that instead of showing a happy lifestyle, we wanted to focus on a different angle. One of the ads that we had that was a little pea on a plate, and is this how you are controlling your attitudes toward the abuse that you've received? Or somebody running on a treadmill, is this how you are running away from the problems you had? And it was an exceptionally compelling way to get across that message for people to realize that it's a common problem, but their solution is, or the actions they're taking isn't the right solution. This is a new way to be able to figure out a better solution.
You guys come up with a creative approach to make people understand that and go out and take action, and that's why you've received the success you have. Folks, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. Once again, their contact information is right there on the bottom of the screen. Basically, it's Weise Communications since 2002. Ideas that move people. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.